Rappers who treat their fans like trash.
What up, Offset?
A wise celebrity once said, "The fans make you. You are nothing without the fans." And that's very true, especially in the world of music where fan sales literally make the bulk of your long-standing money. So it's a shock to us that some rappers of the world are honestly outright jerks when it comes to mingling with their fans. Number 5. Tyga.
Boo! Boo! Where's Tyga?
Tyga is a bit of an interesting case when it comes to rapper fame. He started out really hot in the industry, and then he hit a spot for a couple years where his music wasn't just going his way in terms of praise and sales. But he then compensated by having a relationship with one of the biggest and richest stars in the world, Kylie Jenner. And then that went under, and now he's trying to bring back his stardom into the sky by a comeback, which is kind of working thanks to his certain collaborations with big artists. So in a way, they are carrying him. So where does his treatment of fans come into play? Well, it's actually tied into a very recent event where he did the ultimate insult. He did a no-show to a concert that he was supposed to be at. This happened in May of 2019, and Tyga was scheduled to go and do a concert in San Diego, California. He was going to perform at a nightclub, and to his credit, his name did bring a lot of people to the club. And this was in spite of the fact that this place was a bit of an expensive place to get into to begin with. Despite being the headliner for this event at the club, he didn't show up. And while the crowd was okay with just listening to the DJ go on for a while, they started to realize that Tyga was a no-show and basically started a mini riot, including throwing various items onto the stage in protest. And what's even worse though is that the people apparently weren't able to get refunds for their very expensive purchase. To a concert that never even happened. According to the management, there was nothing that could be done, except there was a lot of things that could have been done, not the least of which is giving them back the money that they paid for a concert that never even happened. But hey, that's just my thoughts on this. Oh, and if you think that was the last low blow when it comes to Tyga, you're wrong. Because eventually when Tyga remembered about the concert, he went onto Instagram and wrote the following: "Sorry I couldn't make it to Omnia San Diego tonight. See y'all next time." And I'm serious when I say that this was his actual reply. No true apologies, no "I'll make it up to you." It was just him saying, "My bad," and then moving on like it was nothing, except it was something. And it's something people aren't going to forget anytime soon. For a guy who's trying to make a comeback into the rap world, he's forgetting one of the biggest cardinal rules of the bunch. Don't screw your fans over. He puts himself over others every single time in his career, and he did it again here. Now, if something actually happened that stopped him from coming to this event, that would have been different and understandable to an extent. But based on his Instagram posts, yeah, not so much. He likely just forgot and didn't want to admit it, which makes it even worse because he forgot a concert that he was supposed to do, and he was likely already paid for it, so he probably felt that he didn't need to bother. And when a rapper openly mocks his fans by basically saying that he did nothing wrong, yeah, you know he's treating his fans like trash. Number 4, Kanye West.
Say anything to me, man. Like, stop asking me questions. You out in front of my house at 4 a.m.
Come on, it's Kanye. You knew that he's going to be on this list because, well, it's Kanye. And first and foremost, Kanye treats a lot of people like trash, mainly because he can't help himself. No, really, he doesn't care at times. Like when he upstaged Taylor Swift after a major award win.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Or then blew up on several podcasts because of an insult was thrown his way. And it doesn't just stop there. Basically, no matter who you are or where you're from, if you get in Kanye West's way or you insult him in any way, you're going to be in the path of his rampage. It can be the slightest of things, like a comment about his songs or his career, and he'll blow up at you. Or you can even just question a decision that he made, and he'll go on a massive rant that does and doesn't relate to the question at hand. Kanye does what Kanye wants, and nothing less than that. So where do the fans come into this? Simple. There have been many times on Twitter, in interviews, or in concerts where Kanye has straight up just insulted his fans for doing a variety of things. One time he blamed his fans for ruining a perfect set that he was doing on stage at the time. Or how about him just being so odd and a jerk that he can't even apologize for the things that he's done to various people over the years? Kanye is Kanye. That means that no one gets treated like they should. Not his friends, not his peers, and not his fans. He'll treat them as he thinks he should. And that's it. Number 3, Cardi B.
And it's nobody's fault. It's just like, I guess we grew out of love, but we're not together anymore.
I'm sure you're looking at this top spot and thinking, how is Cardi B worse than Kanye West and how she treats her fans? Well, it's a little complicated, I'll grant you, but there's a difference between Cardi B and Kanye and how they treat their fans. It's simple that Cardi B is more open to using them for her own gains, and if you don't believe me, you only need to look at her rise to fame. Before she was a singer, she was an exotic dancer and wanted to use social media in order to get famous. She would go and do controversial things in order to get noticed, and people would then resonate with that. And that's how she got on Love and Hip Hop New York, and then got her start in rap by Bodak Yellow, Hello, among other songs. And while there's no doubt that Cardi B loves her fan base, she uses them a lot for her own gain, such as when she started up a scandal of sorts in regards to her husband Offset. She used Instagram to make a video saying that she and Offset were separating, and then started a whole wave of news about what had happened and what was really going on and so forth. So this went on for months until basically it was revealed to be a hoax of sorts meant to try to get the more media attention. And you know who helped her get that? The fans who were trying to support her on social media by showering her with encouragement and praise. Seems kind of petty, don't you think? Oh, but it goes beyond that. Due to her being one of the leading ladies in rap, she gets a lot of expectations thrown on her, which is to be expected when you're a big star with a big fan base. But at one point, she basically condemned her fans and her parents for trying to make her a role model, which she never asked to be. And all but said she was going to ignore the expectations and go and be herself. Except this is Cardi B. She literally does whatever she wants, and she isn't apologetic for any of it. So how could she blame her fans for being herself? Also, I'm very surprised if any of her fans consider her a true role model, because a lot of what she says and does isn't exactly a good example for the next generation. So for being manipulative, mean, and blasting fans for being fans, that kind of puts her on the top list of things. Number 2, Migos.
Underrated.
Underrated, man.
Underrated.
You see them
Never
charts.
be overrated. Never be duplicated.
Migos is a bit of a curious case when it comes to treating their fans like trash, because it's not like they're openly mocking their fans like Tyga and others do on this list, but rather they're not being fully open with their fans. Not in regards to personal lives and such, as they have the right to keep that stuff private, but rather I speak of how they're doing in regards to their music. Because right now Migos is the biggest rap group in the world, but you wouldn't know that because of their lack of music over the past year and a half now. And that's where things get really weird, because it used to be that rap groups were the best way to break into the industry, but now people prefer solo acts, which makes sense given Drake, Eminem, Kanye, Cardi B, and other successes on the solo circuit. So if you wanted to stand out, you need to be good and have a great connection with the members in your group. Migos was that and is that, and started off in the purest of ways. Migos is a 3-man group comprised of Takeoff, Offset, and Quavo. One of the things that really made them stand out to everyone is that they're family, like literal family. Not brothers though. Quavo is Takeoff's uncle and Offset is Quavo's cousin. It's not your typical rap group, and there's been plenty of stories about family groups that didn't work out. But for Migos, it really is working out for the most part. But you see, while they did pay their dues and made their way through the rap world by storm, including having 2 mega hit albums in Culture 1 and 2, there's a supreme lack of communication from the group since the release of Culture 2. Mainly in that the group has promised that Culture 3 is coming, but when is it coming? No one really knows. Before Migos said it would arrive in early 2019, almost a year or so after the release of Culture 2. But now that we're in the halfway point of the year, and we still haven't heard from them, yeah, oddly enough, the 3 members of the group seem to be more focused on things like their individual careers. Offset has been making his own music a lot recently and caused quite a media stir with his wife, we'll get to later. But as for the others, they've been kind of quiet. Now you might not see this as treating fans like trash, because all they're doing is withholding information. But think about it from the perspective of the fans. There are many diehard Migos fans that want to know when the next album is coming out, but they aren't getting any information from the group. There have been rumors that Migos might be breaking up, and if they are, they should announce it to give closure for their fans. And if not, they really need to give an update on their music, or else they're just going to be leaving their fans hanging, and that's not cool. Number 1, Lil Wayne.
Say hell yeah. Hold on one second. Don't throw no ice at me, homie.
It almost shouldn't be surprising that a guy like Lil Wayne is on this list. After all, he's a guy who is never afraid to let his feelings be known just about in any situation. And his mouth and action-minded brain have gotten him in trouble more times than not. But what gets Lil Wayne on this list by far is that when he gets angry with his fans, he doesn't just diss them, he threatens them. One such occasion was in Sydney, Australia, where a fan threw a water bottle on stage and Lil Wayne wasn't happy about it, to say the least. Okay, so let you know. He told the crowd, "Where I'm from, I think y'all knows that's the States. We don't throw on stage because all my got pistols and they don't know who to shoot at. So if you throw something else, I'm gonna be more safe and I'm gonna be the bigger person and just leave because I don't want to kill everybody." Yeah, that's a big yikes. That escalated pretty damn quickly. You really just can't say that, mainly because there were plenty of fans in that group that didn't do anything. Had nothing to do with it. So how does that work? True, he has the right to be angry in regards to the fan throwing a water bottle at him, but to go this far and to rope in the rest of the crowd? Yeah, not cool. Was this a one-time event? Nope. Definitely not. Lil Wayne has not only blown up at fans repeatedly over the years, but he's also threatened them a whole bunch of times. Now, to be fair, some of these were justified, including when he noticed a fan throwing ice at him and he said he would personally mess up that fan. But there's a difference between the justification for acting out and then threatening violence upon a person. He also said that his bodyguards were from New Orleans, and that meant that they take no prisoners, if you get my drift. That's not something you should say, or should be said aloud at all. Not to mention, many of New Orleans natives are not like that. Also, if you saw his performance with Imagine Dragons at the National Football Championship halftime show, yeah, he clearly didn't care that he was at a big event. He sang like garbage. I'm just saying. And so there you have it. A bunch of rappers who think they're too good for their fans. Do you agree with who is on this list? Also, do you think that there's some misconceptions going around about how good they are with their fans? And of course, do you know any other rappers who treat their fans poorly and thus should be on this list? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.